and back up a little bit and look at the big picture.
If I could offer some additional clarification, I mean, you indicated that we are coming back asking for more money. Actually, from the time that the planning team was inaugurated in 2006, which is when the contracts were initiated, the only new contracts that we've asked for have been regarding the management services to replace this chief planner position. We have been working off of the original contracts that were signed in 2006, as well as the PMC contract that was signed in 2001. So yes, you have two contracts with PMC. One of them is an amendment to the one from 2001 that pays for the completion of the general plan update and the associated EIR that goes along with it. PMC is doing both of those together, and in point of fact, most of the work going forward is on the EIR, because that's the point that they're at now. The contract with, for Audrey Knight is a separate contract because it's a separate service, and it does not have anything to do directly with the general plan update. It has to do with management services for the planning team. So there's that. The other contracts are the Leonard Charles contract for the EIR for Ukiah Valley Area Plan, and then the water study, which when we get to it, I'd be happy to speak to that.
Thank you. And I have some comments, but I'm going to go to Supervisor Koufax and then to the CEO.
Okay, just one simple factual question. How much are we offering for someone to come here and work for us as a senior planner?
As a senior planner, which is a lower level position.
Well, okay, let's go down to the lower level. What are we offering for?
Off the top of my head, I can't tell you. It's a supervisor position, so it would be lower than the chief planner. So my guess would be it's probably in the $40,000 to $50,000 range.
Yeah, well, see, that's precisely the point. I mean, if you're offering $40,000 to $50,000 for somebody to come in and take this over, and they have the luck of being a consultant. Being a consultant is like being a supervisor. You can work when you want, you work hard, you have a lot of freedom, and you always have the possibility of walking away. I guess we don't have that possibility, do we? But
Oh, no, we do.
but when you're talking about going out and looking for somebody at $50,000 plus benefits, you're talking about what, $90,000, maybe $85,000 commitment. $85,000 is a heck of is almost half, or is half of what we're offering to somebody who will have all the advantages of being a supervisor-like consultant, who can do all these things at only twice the price.
Yeah. Well,
And I think the logic is flawed here. Again, that's why the numbers, as usual, can be used however you want. But
Okay, I'm going to jump in here, folks. Come on. This is a replacement for an existing person. It is for X amount, $85, $86 an hour per hour over a length of time. It's just defining the contract. We changed the schedule this morning. The longer we continue to stretch this out, we've already seen two additional elements that we have to address since, heaven help me, 16, 18 years that we started this process. This global warming stuff, and now this water study. I'm sorry, I have no faith that the longer we stretch it out, the more things aren't going to be thrown in our face, and that in turn will stretch it out even longer. And you know what? Nothing happens in the meantime. We have a defunct general plan. People come to us with projects. Well, no, it doesn't meet this, and we'd like it to meet that, and we have no globe to be pointing people at to say, yeah, it'll work here, okay? This is a replacement for an existing position. It looks large because it's over an extended period of time as a not-to-exceed contract. We're making more of this than we need to. This is a replacement position, not to exceed. Accept it as that. Maybe it is the length of the day, maybe it's the heaviness of the situation we've been having to deal with today, but let's get it back to the simplistic part of it. It is a replacement, it is just a defining contract. The longer we stretch this out, the more this supervisor becomes disappointed, but it also offers the opportunity for additional things to be thrown at us by maybe the next Attorney General or X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to make sense of this, and let's just take it for what it's worth and move this forward. Maybe I'm going to lose on this, but, you know, I'm going to go to the CEO. Please accept my comments, and if need be, I'll pass the gavel to move this along, but I'll wait to make a decision to do that. Mr. CEO.
Thank you. Before anybody calls the 5:30 rule, I thought I'd get my comments in. The hour is getting late, and I do need 5 minutes with the board regarding the evaluation, just 5 minutes, if we could plan on that in our schedule. I think that we're all frustrated with what's going on here and how long the process is taking. I think for us, it goes back to the budget message. I have told the board on multiple occasions I am unwilling for our office to support hiring an economic development coordinator until the general plan and UVAP get done. I continue to feel that way. So these are critical items. Even a delay of a month impacts. We think we might be able to make progress, I said this morning, on the schedule. Every delay puts us further behind the 8 ball with our economic development activities that we would like to do. So I would encourage you that we move forward with this today. At the same time, I would request that you direct staff to look at alternatives about permanent staffing of this position and bring that back to you as sometime in July. Allison, I'm sure, can tackle that, and some recommendations on salaries that I think you're going to have to pay in order to attract somebody to do that. We do have a list of candidates for Ray Hall's replacement that we're going to be doing an interview panel on initially. We think we can get a good candidate out of that recruitment. We're looking at the chief planner as to what's there. It will take money to solve all of the problems that we have, but we've laid out a plan for you today that we think is doable. We have the resources available that Allison has spent considerable time on. We need to get this process going as fast as we can, because I personally would like to have Allison back in my office working for me and have the planning team back with the planning department as quickly as we can. So allow us to move forward with the recommendations. Direct us to come back to you with, we'll show you what our total costs have been to date on the project, and we'll make some permanent staffing recommendations, which I think we really need to engage on. Do that all part of a motion, because I think you still have one other item to talk about, which is water.
Yeah.
And so we can move forward.
Thank you. To the board, I'm going to ask, I'm going to